All right, welcome. Today we are going to tackle something that, let's be honest, can look pretty intimidating at first, the database structure behind SAP's billable items. We're going to dive right in and demystify the whole thing. And trust me, by the end of this, you'll be able to read those super cryptic table names like you wrote them yourself.
So let's just stop and think about this for a second. How on earth does a massive global company keep track of literally millions or even billions of tiny little charges every single day? I mean, every phone call you make, every gigabyte of data you stream, every monthly subscription. It's a mind-boggling amount of data. Well, this is exactly the kind of giant problem that systems like SAP were born to solve. And the answer, believe it or not, starts with a really simple idea. And that simple idea is called the billable item. Seriously, that's it. You can think of these as the Lego bricks of the entire billing world. Each one is just a little digital record that holds all the crucial info for one single sale or service. They're the absolute, non-negotiable foundation for everything that comes next. Billing, invoicing, you name it. Okay, so here's how we're going to break it all down. We'll look at the why behind billable items, then the blueprint, which is the class. After that, we'll trace their life cycle, decode those table names, and finally, check out how it all works in the real world with storage and simulation. Let's get into it. First things first, let's talk about the master template that controls absolutely everything. This is the billable item class. So what is a billable item class? The most important thing to get is that SAP doesn't just hand these to you. Nope. You have to create them yourself based on what your business actually needs. It's basically a blueprint. You're defining all the technical details for a specific category of charge. So you might make one class for, say, mobile data charges, and a totally separate one for monthly subscription fees. Each one is custom built with exactly the fields it needs and nothing it doesn't.
And hey, this isn't some abstract theoretical thing. Look at this. This is the real deal, the actual configuration screen inside SAP where these classes are born. You're literally picking and choosing the components you need, designing the database structure on the fly to perfectly match your business requirements. Pretty cool, right?
Okay, so we've got our blueprint. Now let's follow the journey of a single billable item. Its life cycle is super important because where it is on that journey tells us exactly where it's living in the database. This diagram here gives you a fantastic bird's eye view of the whole process. You see, an item starts out, it goes through some processing, maybe it hits a snag and gets flagged as an exception, but ultimately it ends up on a final bill. And each of those cylinders you see, that's a different bucket, a different storage spot in the database. Let's get a little more specific. The system keeps track of this journey using a simple status code. When an item first shows up, it's raw with a status of 0. It's brand new. After it gets checked out and is good to go, it becomes billable, status 2. If something's wrong, it gets kicked into an accepted status. And finally, once it's on an invoice, it's officially billed, status 4. The key here is that each of these statuses corresponds to a different physical table in the database. But wait, there's more. It's not just about the status. The data is also split up by what kind of information it is, the record type. Think of it like this. The really important can't live without it data goes in the main IT table. But all the other stuff, like payment details, tax info, even extra text, that all gets its own separate, specialized table. It's all about keeping things neat, tidy, and super efficient. Okay, now for the part you've been waiting for. Let's see how all these pieces, the class, the status, the type, come together. We are finally ready to crack the code behind those crazy SAP table names. You're browsing the system and you see this. At first glance, it just looks like a cat walked across the keyboard, right? A totally random mess of characters. But I'm here to tell you it's anything but random. Exactly. It's not random, it's a recipe. Or maybe like a secret code where you have the key. Every single character in that name is there for a reason, telling you a specific story about the data that's stored inside. It's actually designed to be crystal clear once you know how to read it. And this diagram, it lays it all out perfectly. It breaks that long, scary name down into its individual logical parts. Once you see it like this, it all starts to click. You'll be able to glance at a table name and know exactly what's inside without even opening it.
So let's walk through the recipe together. Step 1, you've got this fixed prefix. That's always there. Step 2 is the 4-digit billable item class. That's our blueprint, remember? Step 3 is the 1-digit status code. Here it's a 1, which means raw exceptions. Step 4 is the 2-letter record type, IT, for main item data. And finally, step 5 is the table set number, which is used for partitioning the data. See? It's not magic, it's just a logical formula.
So now we can read the names. Awesome. But why does it matter? Let's look at a couple of really powerful, real-world applications that show why the structure is so smart.
Okay, this is a big one. You absolutely cannot have your test data mixing with your real, official, legally binding billing data. That would be a disaster. So how does the system handle this? It's actually super elegant. It uses a completely separate set of tables for simulations and testing, and the only difference in the name is that little s you see in the suffix. A simple letter creates a bulletproof wall between what's real and what's just a test.
And remember that last little 2-digit number in the name, the table set? This is where it gets really powerful for managing massive amounts of data. A company can decide to use a new set of tables for every month or every quarter, as you see here. Imagine you're processing billions of items a year. Chopping up your data like this, based on time, is absolutely essential to keep the system running fast and smooth.
All right, let's do a super quick recap of the most important stuff. First, billable item classes are the blueprints for everything. Second, an item's status and record type tell you exactly which table it's in. Third, and this is the big one, that table name isn't random junk, it's a logical code. And finally, this whole structure is what makes critical functions like simulations and time-based storage even possible. Simple as that.
So I want to leave you with this thought. Now that you can read this code, now that you can look at one of those table names and instantly know its class, its status, and what kind of data is inside, how does that change things for you? How does that change the way you might diagnose a billing problem or design a new configuration? Because really, understanding this structure isn't just a neat trick. It's the key to unlocking what the system can really do. Thanks for joining me.